If you are not chosen by God, I want you to stop right here. This message is not entertainment, it is not casual conversation, and it is certainly not for those who walk in darkness. The ones who do not walk the divine path will not understand what I am about to say. Only those who are marked by God, those who carry His Spirit and His calling, will feel this message in their bones. If you are still here, it means heaven has guided you to this very moment. You are not here by accident. You are here because you are chosen, and you have been sensing things that others cannot explain or even notice. Your awareness has grown stronger. Your intuition has become louder. You feel energy shifts from miles away, and you do not know why. Chosen one, you are not crazy. You are spiritually awakened. Before we begin, comment 777 down below so I know you are one of us, and tell me what you have felt in the presence of darkness. Do not hesitate. Speak freely. And if you have not already, subscribe to Rise of the Chosen, tap the bell, and share this video to another chosen one in need. This revelation will change the way you walk through this world. It will unlock clarity you have been waiting for your entire life. Stay until the end.
Dear chosen one, are you walking the path of God but feeling a lack of guidance? Do you feel alone and isolated and want to know why God is doing this to you? We have built a community for the 144,000 chosen ones where you can watch our premium videos, get daily newsletters and prayer techniques to connect with God more deeply. You can also read blog posts and receive free ebooks to learn more about your journey. It will be your guide to walk the path of God and lead a life of faith and wisdom. More than 1,000 brothers and sisters have already joined, so don't miss out on today's daily guidance. Check out the link in the video description and join the 144,000 Chosen One community right now.
The spiritual radar of the chosen. Your soul was wired differently. Chosen one, there is something about you that has never matched the rest of the world. You feel it when you enter a room, when you speak to someone for the first time, when you cross paths with strangers who suddenly become uncomfortable. You sense the invisible before it becomes visible. You detect intentions long before words are spoken. This is not paranoia, it is not insecurity. It is the divine radar embedded in your soul. God designed you differently. While others rely on logic, pattern, and evidence, you carry a silent spiritual sensor that reads energy, motives, and frequency. You do not need someone to insult you for you to know they dislike you. You do not need someone to betray you to feel their deception. Your spirit warns you before your mind understands why. This is the mark of the chosen. Most people learn through reaction. You learn through revelation. Others experience danger and then understand it. You feel danger approaching miles before it arrives. This is why you often find yourself avoiding certain people without having a clear reason. This is why you feel uncomfortable in the presence of someone everyone else trusts. This is why some individuals glance at you once and subconsciously know you see through them. You might think you are being judgmental, but you are not. Your soul is tuned to divine frequency, and anything that does not align with God's light becomes instantly loud to your intuition. You may have noticed this since childhood. There were people who looked at you strangely, teachers who disliked you for no reason, relatives who felt uneasy around you, classmates who avoided you even though you were quiet. You thought you were the problem, but the truth is simpler. Your presence exposes hidden intentions. The light in you irritates the darkness in others, even when you have done nothing. The chosen do not need to speak to be noticed. Their aura speaks, their silence speaks, their gaze speaks. You do not chase attention, yet attention finds you. You do not seek conflict, yet conflict seeks you. You are a walking signal of heaven on earth. When you walk into a room, energy shifts. Some people instinctively straighten their posture. Some lower their tone. Some avoid eye contact. This is not coincidence. Spirits are reacting, not individuals. Darkness recognizes the scent of divine authority. Spirits cloaked in jealousy, spiritual sickness, unclean intentions, and hidden malice become agitated in your presence. Their bodies behave like alarms being triggered. They do not know why they suddenly dislike you. They do not know why they feel threatened. They only feel the discomfort of being seen by something their ego cannot comprehend. And chosen one, this is why you cannot fake relationships. Your soul refuses to belong where it is not spiritually welcomed. You may try to blend in, but the light in you betrays the disguise. You may try to be normal, but heaven has never allowed you to be ordinary. Your soul was molded with sensors that ring when you stand next to someone whose intentions whisper danger. Your heart tightens, your body becomes alert, your mind quiets, and your spirit speaks. You may not hear it in words, but you feel it truthfully. The uneasiness is real. The warning is divine. You do not have to see someone acting wickedly in public to know their spiritual condition. You sense the heaviness they carry. You sense their arrogance, their envy, their bitterness, their hunger for chaos. And here is what makes you different. You do not fight them with anger. You simply guard yourself and walk away. That is maturity born from divine instinct. You are not here to argue with darkness. You are here to identify it, understand it, and avoid becoming entangled in its traps. Some people spend years figuring out that a person was toxic. You detect it in their eyes, their posture, the way they breathe, the way they approach you without speaking. You notice the micro-tension, the aggressive greeting, the fake smile, the overpraised compliments. All of these tell your spirit what their words try to hide. That is why you often distance yourself from someone long before they ever do anything to you. And when later their true colors appear, others say you were lucky. No, chosen one. You were not lucky. You were listening. This radar is not something you developed because you were hurt. It was present from the beginning. But life sharpened it. Betrayal taught your soul to read deeper. Rejection taught your heart to trust its signals. Loneliness taught your spirit how to hear God instead of people. Pain did not break you. Pain calibrated you. Every emotional wound became a tuning fork that improved your spiritual hearing. What others see as trauma, heaven sees as training. Your hypersensitivity is the result of divine engineering. You may think sometimes that you are too sensitive. You may tell yourself that you are imagining things, that you are overreacting. But pay attention to this. How many times were you right? How many times did you ignore that inner discomfort only to later realize you should have walked away? Your soul knows before your brain analyzes. You are not sensing thoughts, you are sensing spirits. This world is not merely physical, it is layered with frequencies, intentions, and unseen forces. Chosen ones are gifted naturally to perceive these hidden layers. You were built to detect threats, to protect those around you, to walk away from traps, and to stand strong when darkness thinks it has you cornered. People call you intense, distant, hard to approach, or mysterious. They cannot explain why, but they feel something different about you. They might say your presence is heavy, or they feel like they need to be careful around you. What they are truly confessing is this: their spirit senses your authority. Chosen one, your radar is not broken. It is working exactly as God intended. Your soul is wired differently. You see the storm before the clouds gather. You feel betrayal before the knife touches your back, and that is why you are still standing. Dark souls and energy parasites. Why they fear your light. Chosen one, you must understand something very simple. Darkness recognizes you before you recognize yourself. The moment you walk into a room, those who carry corrupted intentions feel exposed. When you speak, even in softness, those who operate in manipulation feel as if they are being interrogated. When you simply exist, spirits that survive on deception become restless. They cannot explain it, but their souls know you are not a victim or a follower. You carry something ancient and divine. Your light puts pressure on everything fake, everything corrupt, and everything spiritually diseased. Energy parasites are terrified of you, not because you attack them, but because you see them without trying. Dark souls can wear makeup, fine clothes, expensive watches, false smiles, successful careers, or even religious titles. They love pretending to be righteous, compassionate, or wise. They perform goodness like actors performing a script. But the moment a chosen one is near, the mask becomes heavy. Their charm stops working. Their manipulation stops flowing. The aura that they use to sway others suddenly collapses because your presence is not influenced by illusions. You cannot be bought with compliments, distracted with seduction, or controlled with guilt. You see patterns, motives, and spiritual stains that most people overlook. This is why they avoid you. This is why they hate you. This is why nothing about their darkness can survive in your light. Energy parasites are individuals who do not create, do not build, and do not carry spiritual power of their own. They feed on chaos, drama, negativity, fear, insecurity, and confusion. When they encounter a chosen one, they sense that their usual tactics will fail. They cannot drain you easily. They cannot provoke you into destruction. They cannot make you feel worthless. They cannot confuse your identity. Their tricks evaporate because your spirit does not respond to low vibration. God has equipped you with internal alarms that ring loud the moment someone attempts to steal your peace. They feel your inner strength and panic. They cannot dominate you, so they attempt to destroy you. You have probably seen this many times throughout your life. A person who has never spoken to you suddenly dislikes you. A co-worker spreads rumors about you even though you barely interacted. A relative feels threatened by your growth and tries to undermine you. A friend who secretly envies you becomes distant the moment you succeed. None of this is random. These behaviors are evidence of spiritual insecurity. Darkness does not hate you because you have done something wrong. It hates you because your existence proves its weakness. You carry a frequency that whispers to every lost soul, your manipulation will not work here. This is why narcissists cannot stand chosen ones. Narcissists survive off admiration, submission, and psychological slavery. They enjoy controlling people emotionally and spiritually, but when they meet a chosen one, the dynamic flips. Their charm fails. Their lies sound cheap. Their intimidation bounces back like a broken arrow. They sense from your silence that you cannot be enslaved. You do not need validation. You do not seek their approval, and you do not fear abandonment. You do not play their game, so the game becomes meaningless. To them, you are an enemy simply because you are free. Another type of dark soul is the spiritual leech. This is the person who wants to sit next to you, talk endlessly, and drain your emotional energy. They crave your attention, your empathy, your kindness, and your listening ear. But they give nothing back. They do not want advice. They want to be fed. They do not want healing. They want a caretaker. When you begin to distance yourself, they turn bitter. They call you selfish, cold, or arrogant. But the truth is that they are addicted to your energy. They want to pull from your soul like a thief takes from a well. When you stop feeding them, they suffocate spiritually because they cannot survive without attaching themselves to someone stronger. There are also shadowed souls, individuals who are not overtly malicious but spiritually sick. They hold unresolved trauma, jealousy, bitterness, or emptiness. When they look at you, something in them wakes up. They see a reflection of the person they could have been if they had followed God's will. That reflection terrifies them. Instead of using your presence as inspiration, they turn it into resentment. They do not hate you. They hate themselves for seeing their own wasted potential. Your growth is a reminder of their stagnation. Your faith is a reminder of their compromise. Your discipline is a reminder of their laziness. They fear you because you remind them of every failure they have not faced. Energy parasites will attempt 3 strategies when dealing with a chosen one. The first is imitation. They will mimic your personality, your style, your spiritual language, or even your purpose, because they believe that copying you will give them access to your power. But imitation without soul only creates distortion. They borrow your identity like wearing someone else's armor. Eventually, their mask cracks because your authenticity is organic while their imitation is forced. When imitation fails, they attack. They will gossip, criticize, insult, or fabricate lies. They will attempt to damage your reputation because they cannot damage your spirit. Their goal is to isolate you, to make you question your gifts, to push you into doubt. But chosen ones are different. You do not collapse under pressure. Your strength comes from the storms you survived. You do not fear rejection because you have walked alone with God. You do not fear misunderstanding because heaven understands you. They cannot destroy someone heaven has already prepared. If attacking fails, they perform the last strategy: avoidance. They disappear, withdraw, and hide because your presence burns them. They cannot stay near someone who sees through them. They cannot converse with someone who listens with spirit rather than ego. They cannot sit at a table where truth is stronger than manipulation. To you, it feels confusing. You wonder why someone suddenly vanished. You think you offended them, but the truth is simple. Their spirit could not endure the weight of yours. Chosen one, pay attention to the people who act strangely in your presence. The ones who become quiet, nervous, hostile, or overly defensive when you are around. You are not imagining their discomfort. They can feel the light you carry. A person who has lied their way through life is terrified of a soul that does not bow to deception. A person who manipulates others is terrified of a spirit that cannot be manipulated. A person whose identity is built on ego cannot stand someone whose identity comes from God. You have probably wondered why strangers confide in you, why broken people seek your comfort, why people who never liked you still ask for your help in moments of crisis. Because even darkness recognizes protection. Your energy is a shelter. Your words hold healing. Your presence gives direction. They may try to wound you in calm times, but when storms hit, they run to you because somewhere inside, they know you carry something eternal. Understand this clearly. Those who fear your light are often the ones who need it most. But it is not your responsibility to heal everyone. God did not make you a vessel for parasites. You are not chosen to be a fuel tank for those who refuse to grow. Your gift is not meant for those who drain you. Some souls will only destroy what they do not understand. Protect your energy. Speak when heaven tells you to speak. Walk away when your spirit tells you to walk away. Your light is powerful, and those consumed by darkness will always try to dim what they cannot defeat. The invisible warfare. What your senses detect before your mind understands. Chosen one, long before a threat becomes clear in the physical world, your spirit feels its approach. You sense things without logic, without warning, without evidence. That is not coincidence. It is spiritual warfare revealing itself through the subtle movements of energy. When you feel sudden tension in your chest, unexplained heaviness in your mind, or a quiet pressure in your surroundings, you are not just feeling stress. You are perceiving invisible forces at work. The chosen walk through two realms at once, the physical world and the spiritual battlefield beneath it. Others only see what is in front of them. You see what is beneath the surface. Your senses alert you before your brain has time to interpret the danger. That is divine protection. You may have experienced this in everyday life. You enter a room and something feels wrong even though everyone is smiling. Your heart becomes restless, your thoughts feel crowded, or your stomach twists for no reason. When you sleep, your dreams become vivid warnings, symbolic messages, or premonitions. When you meet someone, you feel exhausted afterward, even though you barely spoke. You may not know why, but your spirit knows. That person carries draining energy. When you think about a certain decision, your mind tells you it makes sense, but something inside you whispers no. These sensations are not abstract emotions. They are your soul detecting spiritual conflict that your logic has not yet caught up with. Spiritual warfare is rarely dramatic. It is quiet, subtle, and patient. It comes in thoughts that appear suddenly, in doubts that do not belong to you, in confusion that attacks without reason. The enemy knows chosen ones cannot be destroyed physically, so it targets your perception. If your perception is weakened, your decisions weaken. If your decisions weaken, your destiny can be delayed. That is why you often feel spiritual battles before they manifest in reality. You will be living in peace one night, then wake up the next morning with an inexplicable cloud over your mind. Nothing physically happened, but something spiritually invaded your space. There are moments when God will allow you to feel spiritual disturbances so you know what to prepare for. You will feel drained around people others find charming. You will feel uneasy in places others describe as comfortable. You will sense jealousy in someone who smiles kindly. These are not guesses. Your discernment is reading their energy before they reveal their intentions. You are not reacting to their words or actions. You are reacting to the spiritual forces influencing them. Spirits do not hide from chosen ones. They only hide from those who cannot see. Many chosen ones confuse this with anxiety. They think something is wrong with them. They think they are overthinking, too emotional, or paranoid. But time always reveals truth. The same co-worker who made your spirit tense eventually exposes their betrayal. The friend who made you uneasy eventually reveals their envy. The partner you could not trust eventually shows their deception. Understand this clearly. Your spirit is not guessing. It is remembering. It is recognizing patterns from battles you have fought before, maybe even in past seasons of your soul. You walk with ancient intuition. The invisible warfare also speaks through silence. You can sit in a gathering and feel that everyone is laughing, but something feels hollow. You will notice the subtle glances, the sudden shifts in tone when you enter, the way people try to measure your confidence. They do not know why they feel threatened, but their spirit does. Darkness does not hate dim light. It hates light strong enough to expose it. When you walk in, you become a mirror. People see their hidden motives reflected back at them. You think you are just standing there, but the spirit in you is declaring, "I see you." One of the most powerful forms of invisible warfare is confusion. It is when your mind becomes foggy for no reason. You know who you are, but suddenly you doubt your worth. You know your calling, but suddenly you feel tired and unmotivated. You feel drained without physical exhaustion. You isolate yourself not because you want to, but because something pushes you inward. This is not depression created by your circumstances. It is pressure from spiritual forces trying to suffocate your clarity. They cannot kill your spirit, so they attack your perspective. They whisper lies. No one understands you, no one supports you, no one cares. They try to cage your voice and silence your authority. Chosen ones are most targeted mentally because their mind is a gateway to destiny. When the enemy cannot break your body, it tries to break your alignment. It uses distractions, temptations, emotional triggers, or sudden chaos. One moment you are calm, the next moment an argument erupts for no reason. One moment you are focused, the next moment you are fighting with someone you love. These attacks are not random. They are designed to pull you away from divine clarity. When God prepares to elevate you, spiritual opposition increases. The enemy senses momentum. It feels the shift in your frequency. So it tries to strike before you realize who you are becoming. You also notice invisible warfare when your spirit rejects people you wanted to like. You meet someone who looks kind, intelligent, successful, or spiritually aware, but something feels off. Every conversation with them becomes heavy. Your spirit recoils even if your mind says they are harmless. Later, you discover their intentions. You learn they spoke about you behind your back. You learn they tried to sabotage you. You learn they admired you only because they wanted access to your energy. Timing exposes everything. Your soul always knows before your brain accepts it. The chosen experience warfare through their bodies too. A sudden headache that begins right after entering a room. A tightness in your chest around a specific person. rapid heartbeat when someone manipulative stands too close, sleep disturbances when someone is spiritually attacking you, migraines after talking to someone who drains you emotionally. Doctors cannot find the cause. You take medicine, but the pain remains. Then one day, the moment you cut that toxic connection, your body feels light again. That is not coincidence. Your spirit was in battle. The enemy has one goal: to disconnect the chosen from their inner knowing. Because when you trust your spiritual senses, you walk with certainty, power, and authority. You do not fall into traps. You do not cling to parasites. You do not waste energy arguing. You do not chase validation. Your decisions become clean, sharp, and calm. So warfare tries to drown that intuition. It places loud distractions in your life. It places seductive opportunities that pull you away from purpose. It places fake allies who pretend to support you but envy your path. It places emotional triggers that reopen wounds you already healed. And here is the truth most people never understand. Chosen ones are not attacked because they are weak. They are attacked because they are dangerously spiritual. Their very existence threatens darkness. They carry potential that terrifies demonic influence. The enemy knows you will awaken more souls. It knows your words break chains. It knows your presence elevates others. It knows your resilience inspires faith. That is why it comes for your mind. That is why you feel battles before you see them. Heaven designed you as a watchtower. Your spirit scans the horizon before your eyes do. Do not ignore the subtle shifts. When your spirit goes quiet, listen. When your heart beats faster without a cause, prepare. When your spirit tells you to walk away, do not stay. When you feel sudden peace that makes no sense, trust it. God does not warn chosen ones through thunder. He warns them through whispers. The warfare is invisible, but the signs are loud to those who are awake. Your senses are not a burden. They are armor. They are the tools that keep you alive. Your soul reads the battlefield long before your mind understands the war. Physical and emotional reactions. When your spirit warns you. Chosen one, before your mind speaks, your body already knows. Your spirit uses the body as its messenger, and when danger approaches, the warning is delivered not through words, but sensations. You may not have been taught this, but you have lived it. That sudden rush of anxiety, the tightening in your chest, the drain of energy when you speak to a certain person, these are not random emotional changes. Your soul is alerting you. Energy is the earliest language of spiritual communication. Before someone betrays you, your spirit reacts. Before a situation harms you, your body responds. The chosen are wired to feel the unseen, and that wiring speaks through physical reaction. There are times when you meet someone and instantly feel tired afterward. You didn't argue, you didn't share something personal, you barely spoke. Yet you walk away exhausted, as if you carried 1,000 pounds. Many people ignore this and call it stress. But you know better. The chosen cannot stand near spiritual parasites without feeling a drain. Their presence pulls at your spirit the way a leech pulls at skin. They don't need to insult you or attack you physically. Their energy alone is hungry, and your body announces it. Sometimes it feels like a headache that starts behind the eyes. You may notice your breathing becomes shallow. Your thoughts lose clarity. Your shoulders tense. The room feels heavier. That physical discomfort is your spirit rejecting the environment. You do not need to know why. The body tells you what the soul understands. If only you listen to this warning more often, many of your past wounds could have been avoided. The chosen always sense the betrayal before it happens, but most ignore the early signals. They try to justify the discomfort, rationalize it, or silence it out of politeness. That is how the enemy slips close. You also experience emotional reactions you cannot explain logically. One moment you feel fine, then suddenly you become sad, irritated, angry, or emotionally overwhelmed. Nothing physically changed, but spiritually something moved in your direction. When a chosen one feels emotional turbulence without reason, it is rarely personal emotion. It is spiritual interference. You might think it is just mood swing, but ask yourself, why do you feel it around specific individuals? Why does it stop when you leave certain places? Why does emotional heaviness disappear after you cut ties with someone? Emotions speak the truth your mind tries to ignore. There are people whose energy corrupts your peace the moment they enter the space. They do not need to look at you or speak. You feel it in the air, the tension, the hostility, the jealousy. You might say, "That person just gives me a bad vibe." What you really mean is that their spirit disrupts your frequency. Some individuals carry shame, hatred, envy, bitterness, or lust. They project these emotions subconsciously. The chosen feel those projections as sudden discomfort. You do not see the weapon, but you feel the wound. That is spiritual sensitivity. Your body also responds to invisible warfare with fatigue. You may wake up after hours of sleep still tired. You may walk into a peaceful environment and feel nothing, but enter a spiritually toxic space and feel drained in minutes. This fatigue is different from physical exhaustion. It does not come from work or responsibility. It comes from being in the presence of people or energies that are misaligned with your purpose. The chosen absorb emotion like a sponge absorbs water. God gave you empathy, but empathy becomes a weakness when it sits near manipulation. There are physical reactions of rejection. Your stomach twists, your heart rate spikes, your palms become sweaty, you feel trapped even when no one is threatening you. These are not weaknesses, these are alarms. Your spirit knows you are not safe. You might say to yourself, "Maybe I'm just nervous." But reality proves otherwise. When you leave that person or situation, everything returns to normal. Your nervous system relaxes, your breathing settles, your peace comes back. That is not psychological. That is spiritual confirmation. Chosen ones often misunderstand emotional numbness. There are moments when something painful happens and you feel nothing. You expect sadness, but there is silence. You expect anger, but there is stillness. This is not coldness. It is divine insulation. When your spirit recognizes that a situation was designed to destroy you, it shields your emotions until you are strong enough to process it. God protects your heart the same way armor protects the chest. Emotional numbness is the spirit stepping in, saying, "Let me handle this battle." There are also warnings that come through dreams. You see people acting strangely, attacking you, or trying to take something from you. You may wake up confused, thinking it was random imagination. Yet weeks later, something happens that mirrors the dream. Your subconscious is not inventing stories. Your spirit is rehearsing spiritual conflict that has not yet entered the physical realm. Dreams are simulations of warfare, preparing you so you are not caught off guard. You may even feel physical discomfort when someone lies to you. Their words sound polite, but your body stiffens. Your eyes narrow without effort. Your breathing changes. You do not know the truth yet, but your spirit does. When someone intends to manipulate you, your body will not stay calm. Your heart recognizes deception like a dog recognizes danger. You may not know the facts, but you know something is wrong, and that awareness is enough. Emotional reactions also reveal envy. When someone envies you, their compliments feel sharp. Their smile is thin, their tone is hollow. Your spirit hears the resentment hidden beneath their praise. They may seem friendly, but you feel their bitterness as a weight in your chest. The chosen do not need evidence to confirm jealousy. They feel the shift in atmosphere like wind changing direction. Envy enters a room like a draft. It is subtle but undeniable. There are times when your body reacts before your eyes see the enemy. You may suddenly want to leave a place for no reason. You may lose interest in certain people without a logical explanation. You may feel irritated around someone even though they are being polite. These urges are not mistakes. They are divine guidance. The spirit rarely explains in detail. It simply redirects. When you resist this redirection, you invite pain. Chosen one, you must learn to trust these signals. Many of your emotional battles came from ignoring what your body already knew. You stayed in friendships your spirit rejected. You dated people your heart recoiled from. You accepted opportunities that made your stomach twist, and every time, pain followed. That pain was not punishment. It was the result of choosing logic over discernment. Some people will say you are too sensitive, dramatic, or imagining things. They are blind to the spiritual layer of existence. Sensitivity is a gift, not a flaw. It protects you from predators, manipulators, narcissists, energy thieves, and spiritual parasites. If you pay attention to your reactions, you can avoid almost every trap the enemy sets. You will know who to trust, who to leave, and who to ignore before they ever reveal their intentions. There are chosen ones who lived years believing something was wrong with them. They felt too much, cared too deeply, got tired too easily around certain people. They called themselves weak, but their sensitivity was their strongest armor. The enemy could not approach them without their spirit sounding alarms. They were never broken. They were spiritually alert. Comment 4. If any of these reactions have ever warned you before, reality caught up to you. Your body is not betraying you. Your spirit is speaking. Listen to it. Protection and authority. How to guard your light and walk without fear. Chosen one. Many of you have lived thinking that your sensitivity makes you vulnerable. You have believed that because you feel deeply and see beyond the surface, you are exposed. But what you call sensitivity is actually divine armor. God has not only given you the ability to detect darkness, He has given you authority over it. Dark souls do not fear your weakness, they fear your strength. Your light is not a candle in a storm. It is a flame that no wind can extinguish. The moment you recognize this, spiritual parasites lose their power over you. The first way to protect your light is to understand that you are not obligated to explain yourself. The enemy thrives on confusion, guilt, and justification. When you feel something is wrong, you do not need to convince others that it is wrong. You do not need evidence. You do not need permission. When God whispers warning into your spirit, obedience is enough. Many chosen ones have suffered because they ignored their instincts, thinking, I should be nice, or I'm overthinking. You are not overthinking. You are spiritually discerning. Darkness manipulates logic, but it cannot manipulate discernment. Boundaries are spiritual shields. You are not unkind for setting them. You are not selfish for protecting yourself. A chosen one who walks without boundaries becomes a banquet table for predators. Your empathy attracts broken souls, but your clarity exposes toxic souls. There will always be people who seek your warmth, but not your wisdom. They want your comfort, but reject your truth. When you identify them, distance is not cruelty. It is survival. To protect your light, you must stop giving access to those who drain you. Your energy is sacred. Your presence is rare. Do not waste it on those who treat you like a tool. There are seasons when God forces isolation for protection. You will feel like friends disappear. Opportunities slow down. Conversations become quiet. Do not panic. This is not punishment. It is pruning. God removes loud influences so you can hear Him clearly. The chosen walk alone, not because they are abandoned, but because their path is too narrow for the crowd. When you stop fighting this isolation and embrace it, you step into authority. Silence teaches you what noise hides. Loneliness reveals who you are when no one is watching. The enemy approaches chosen ones through emotional hooks. Manipulators bait you with sympathy, pity, seduction, or chaos. They want you to react, to lower your frequency, to fight battles that drain your spirit. But authority is not loud. Authority is calm. You protect your light by refusing to play in the mud. Not every insult deserves a response. Not every challenge deserves a duel. When a chosen one responds to darkness with silence, the battle is already won. Sometimes the most powerful answer is to walk away without explanation. God does not send his warriors into conversations with snakes. Prayer is not a ritual. It is a weapon. When you pray, you are not begging God to fix something. You are activating spiritual law. Heaven responds to the chosen differently. Your words carry authority when spoken with conviction. Speak protection over your mind, your home, your sleep, your relationships. Speak clarity over your decisions. Speak courage over your heart. Prayer reshapes energy, redirects attack, and draws angels to your side. It is not simply asking. It is commanding in alignment with God's will. Your light is not a gentle glow. It is disruptive. Wherever you go, you awaken and agitate spiritual forces. People who are comfortable in lies will hate you. People who benefit from deception will resent you. People who feed on energy will pursue you. But listen carefully. None of them can defeat you unless you surrender your power. They cannot drain what you do not offer. They cannot access what you do not open. They cannot consume what you do not feed. Your authority lies not in force, but in control. Control of your time, your attention, your silence, your reactions. There are moments when you must speak boldly. The chosen are not called to be soft pillows. They are called to be spiritual swords. When darkness tries to infiltrate your life, you do not beg it to leave. You command it to leave. You use your voice with firm intention. You say no. You say stop. You cut ties. You expose hypocrisy. You remove parasites. God did not design you to endure abuse or to tolerate emotional poison. Being humble does not mean being voiceless. Jesus overturned tables in the temple when corruption invaded holy spaces. Authority is not passive. Authority is righteous. Many chosen ones are unaware of their influence. You think you are unnoticed, but people study you. They watch your posture, your tone, your silence. Your presence changes behavior. They adjust their words when you approach. They hide their gossip when you walk in. They erase their deception when you speak truth. This is not intimidation of your personality. It is intimidation of your spirit. The enemy cannot disguise itself in front of someone who sees beyond human masks. To guard your light, you must value it. Stop calling yourself too sensitive or too emotional. Stop apologizing for your discernment. Stop trying to blend in with people who are spiritually blind. The chosen are not separated because they are strange. They are separated because they are rare. You are not meant to be understood by everyone. You are meant to be respected by the right ones and feared by the wrong ones. Your body is your temple. Protect it. Do not let toxic conversations consume your peace. Do not let guilt force you into uncomfortable spaces. If someone costs you peace, they are too expensive. Protect your emotional health without hesitation. If someone constantly provokes you, humiliates you, or tries to compete with you, cut them off without guilt. Competition is the language of the insecure. The chosen do not compete. They create. They build. They elevate. Understand this clearly. You are not walking alone. You carry spiritual coverage. The enemy sees angels around you when you cannot. It feels divine boundaries even when you doubt yourself. Your life has already survived attacks that others did not notice. The reason you are still standing is not luck. It is protection. You have been preserved for a purpose greater than your imagination. Walk with your shoulders lifted. Walk with the knowledge that heaven is with you. You are not prey. You are a warrior disguised in human form. You do not shrink so others feel comfortable. You do not hide your light to protect darkness. You do not apologize for being chosen. You guard your energy, you guard your peace, and you walk in authority without fear. Conclusion. Your sensitivity is your divine armor. Chosen one, do not ever mistake your sensitivity for weakness. What the world calls too emotional or too observant is the very shield heaven placed upon you. Your ability to feel energy, to sense danger before it arrives, to know someone's intentions without any evidence. This is not a curse. It is divine technology. God gave you a spirit that speaks long before your mind understands, because your path is not like others. You were never meant to learn through destruction. You were meant to be guided through discernment. Your sensitivity protected you from people who smiled while planning your downfall. It pulled you away from places that would have damaged your soul. It exposed the parasites who pretended to love you. It revealed the envy that others tried to hide behind laughter. Every time your body tightened, every time your mind grew restless around someone, every time you felt sudden exhaustion, you were being shielded. Heaven was whispering, "Step back. Do not trust. Do not open that door." So walk forward without apology. You are not strange, dramatic, or paranoid. You are spiritually awake in a world that sleeps. Your senses are your armor, your intuition is your compass, and your spirit is God's command tower within you. Hold your light with confidence, protect your peace fiercely, and remember this: the enemy fears you not because you are loud, but because you can see in silence.